to the Greypilled podcast, where truth's unveiled, exploring the depths beyond what is retail. Conspiracies, esoteric knowledge so enthralling. Open up your mind, let's dive into the sprawling. Oh yeah. Greypilled awaken, question what you know. Peeling back the layers, let your curiosity grow. Uncover hidden realities, break the mold. Come take the journey, let your mind unfold.
chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. The chosen one, yes, he is the chosen one. He's got his own comic, and now he's got his own song. Cause he's the chosen one, yes, he is the chosen one. Go buy a copy at chosen1.com. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Greypilled podcast. It's me, Jules, your boy. And tonight we have Juan AYALA from the One on One podcast. Juan, what's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for playing my comic book thing there.
Yeah, dude. You hear
Getting a little bit of an
playback?
echo.
Yeah, man. I'm about to fix that real fast.
Oh, you're good. The first time you ever going live, bro? That's crazy. Why'd you wait
Yeah,
so
dude.
long?
I don't know, man. I just usually record my videos.
I like it better like that, anyways, because it's less pressure of having to watch that ticker go up and down and having to feel that dead air. There's one thing I hate, bro. It's dead air.
Yeah,
So,
man. I've gotten pretty good at editing my streams. But other than that, you know, man, I just usually, you know, I just work all week, and then I don't know what's going on with this echo, to be honest with you.
do you want to hear? So since it's your first time, let me take my watch off. You should have a setting that it'll cancel out your echo on the. By the way, nice sticker on your mic there, bro. Cancel out your echo. I can hear myself now. Nice sticker on your mic there, bro.
Yeah,
it looks
bro.
like you're running the stream.
Homunculus.
Are you playing the stream somewhere?
It looks like you're running the stream.
Yeah.
Hold on. I can't even. This shit.
It's the little homunculi.
Hey.
Oh, test.
Okay. I hear you again, but we're still echoing, dude.
There should be on your settings in StreamYard to cancel out outside echoes, and let me see what else is it. Echo cancellation and reduce mic background noise. If you click those on, I don't know if you're blasting you're a drummer, right? So you might be just blasting your
Yeah, dude.
your earphones.
Are
you running the stream somewhere in the background?
No, man. Not on anything.
People said I'm not hearing any echo, but
wait a minute.
I can hear it. It's all good.
Dude, you're gonna okay, so I'm from Mississippi, right, guys? I went to Jackson Public School. I'm not the brightest sometimes, you know. I worked all day. I had my YouTube because I was fixing my stream, and it was on the stream one. I'm sorry about that, man.
No, you're good, dude. It's the first time you go live, bro. It's all good.
Oh man, that's a classic Jules move. It's all good, bro. So what's up, everybody? Yeah, getting the
Much better.
Stream started off right. Yeah, man. No, this sticker actually, I have a few on here of y'all's occult book club. It was like the first thing that I heard of you and Thomas together.
Which episode?
It was probably the The one about Plato's cave?
Plato's Cave. A cult book club on Plato's Cave?
Yeah, dude. Or
Or is it the Rene Descartes one?
maybe the Rene Descartes one.
The Voyage to the World of Cartesius?
I swear it had something to do with Plato. Plato's cow, maybe?
Oh, the Liber Vacay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Liber Vacay. Yeah, that one. I had written it down somewhere. But yeah, dude.
It's homunculus territory.
Oh, for sure, dude. I think a lot of things now are homunculus territory, bro, to be honest with you.
I actually just finished. So I have a habit of, if I'm in between research or if I'm doing something and I don't want to overload my senses or like the RAM memory, if you will, I'll put
Yeah.
on stuff that doesn't require me to remember or learn. And one of the things I like to do is I like to watch bad movies, but by myself. So if it was bad, it'd be like, wow, that
Like
was
Steven
terrible.
Seagal movies?
No, and that's someone. No, not Steven Seagal movies, but like I put on The Nun, which is a new movie that just came out.
Yeah.
I think this past week or something like that. It just came out recently, and it's got that girl Sydney Sweeney or something, where I guess she's blowing up. She did that show Euphoria on HBO, bro. Homunculus, dog. Like that show is
For real.
literally, and that came out like last week. Literally, it came out. Let me find out when exactly it came out. The Nun. So 2024. It came out.
I think I know who she is.
So it came out March 22nd. No, 3/22/2024. Wow, look at that. So David Bernard, Sydney Sweeney. Neon debut Mohan's Immaculate in selection. So official trailer for The Nun. And bro, the entire movie was just about, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people, but think about what happens with a homunculus. And there was a whole conspiracy, and they wanted to, again, Moonchild type of stuff, bring forth the Messiah.
The Babylon workings.
Yeah, and so that was, again, March 3/22 came out last month, and homunculus. I mean, homunculus is mainstream, and we were covering it. I'm not the owner of the topic or anything, but I was talking about it before it was a little bit more well known, and I think I've been the one that has really dove deeper than than regular people on the subject. I mean, who the hell is reading about this stuff anyways, right? Who's looking for grimoires on the 9th century and all that stuff? Nobody, right? So we started digging at that, and yeah, that was one of the episodes. That was after Mind Unveiled's video. So then Mind Unveiled had reached out, and he wanted to do a project on it, and that turned into a 10-hour video that he did on it, which was really great to help him out with that. But yeah, that's how deep it goes, bro. And I think that the homunculus is literally, it's at the core of the nature of reality, because the entire thing is what's in your head observing your reality right now. Well, they thought it was a little guy inside there watching through your eyes reality as you perceive it. But then they were like, wait a minute, who's in that guy's head?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so
like a mirror in a mirror kind of
ad infinitum. Yeah. So instead of turtle
that's
all the
what
way
it's
down,
called. Of course, you know the term for it.
It's homunculus all the way down. So what I'm talking about is the Cartesian theater, which is a more philosophical type of thing, but that's the nature of reality. And these guys were doing the same thing back then. And I find it super fascinating that this is a concept within history, bro. That's why it's so fascinating to read about history. And I know you were talking about reading books and all this stuff before we jumped on, but yeah, I love history, dude. And my wife gets on me all the time about how I can't remember her birthday, but I can remember what happened, 1,000 years ago or something.
Right. Yeah, dude. No, I actually had some books. I think me and you have something in common. We are both big fans of Manly Palmer Hall. And I mean, in the past year, man, I've dove into a lot of his kind of smaller books that he puts together.
Pamphlets, journals, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, dude,
that's how I found the homunculus, through Manly P. Hall.
Which was it, a certain treatise that it was through, or
no? So he was actually he had a ton of alchemical books. I actually got to talk to somebody who scanned a lot of the original alchemical plates that he had in books. Once upon a time at his society over in California, and I found it through I believe it was either the All Seeing Eye or the Horizon. So it was these little pamphlets. That's where I started my Occultus Mundi
Dude,
pamphlets.
yeah, I got it right here, brother.
Was
Yeah,
inspired by Manly P. Hall's All Seeing Eye
I
in
got the
some
green
sort of
one.
weird way. So, well, they're all different colors, but I draw them. I pick them out by random.
I love that you put it together, man. It really reminds me of like an underground kind of punk rock zine. You
Yeah, I
know what I
put those
mean?
together by hand. So
Oh,
that's
for sure, man. It's
yeah.
super do it yourself, man. I love it. I tried to get my wife to read it and she was like, the fuck? She
So
I mean,
it was through the Horizon or the All Seeing Eye that I stumbled across a story in that, and it's the Johann von Kufstein story from 1775. He actually holds the world record for the largest homunculus. It's an actual world record in the Guinness Book of World Records. You can look it up right now for the largest homunculus.
really?
Yeah, bro. So I'm reading this story because it was in this part of Curious and Curiosities or something like that. Curious and Curiouser, and it had like Alice in Wonderland stepping in through the mirror, and he had like little sections where he would write strange stories, and
Okay.
the story's going on and on and on, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this guy even talking? I thought it was I thought it was fiction. And it's like,
Right.
oh, there was this Freemason. He was an occultist, a mystic, and then he hooked up with this other guy who was a Rosicrucian mystic, Italian mystic, da da da. And they did this alchemical magical ceremony, and boom, they had 10 homunculi. And then they were all broken down. There was a king, queen, a cleric, a monk. They had I
What?
think a judge. Yeah, bro, it was 10 different
Bro.
homunculi, a red spirit and a blue spirit. And then all this weirdness happened. Allegedly, he kept them at this Freemasonic lodge. He would give exhibitions with them. I just did a short on this too. So they would
Dude.
do exhibitions with them and show them out because they would divinate. They would answer yes or no questions. And it was like that was the first chat GPT, bro. Like that's what it was. That's what these guys were trying to do. They were trying to create something that was the encapsulation of God. So, and this
Right.
steps into computers, this steps into everything else. So it's quite literally homunculus is at the core of a lot of things, whether people want to accept it or not. And that's fine. You don't even have to call it homunculus. You can call it understanding reality. Like
Punk rock homunculi.
the teraphim, bro. The teraphim they're in the Bible. There were these
Right.
little idols. The Knights Templar got accused of having this sort of thing where I think Idris Shah, he wrote a whole thing on it where the heads that they had, the teraphim, actually came from like Sufi mystics and some teachings that they had. But again, that the Baphomet essentially was another sort of homunculus where it's about invoking this thing into a
Existence.
vessel. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's, it's really
Yeah.
weird, but so this
It,
the Johann von Kufstein guy, he goes on, and then they end up some of the homunculi end up dying because they try to escape, and then he ends up killing all of them, and then burying them somewhere at his house. And so, like the legend is, are the bodies still there, like of the homunculi? So
don't you have to kill them at like after a certain amount of days or they'll like come for you?
no, I mean you can do honestly, you
I
don't
think
have
Thomas
to.
said something about that maybe. He was like,
Thomas is
make
retarded,
sure
bro.
after 5 days you put it down though. I was like, wait.
No, you don't
Dude,
have
the
to.
first time that I heard you talk about it was on Tinfoil Hat. I'm pretty sure your first time on there.
Yeah.
And when you started, and man, like I was talking to you before, the show, I grew up playing punk rock, metal. Me and Thomas just did a sound science on stoner metal. We have a few more that we're about to do. I got one I'm doing with Donut on Memphis rap. It's going to be fucking awesome. But basically, when I heard you start talking about the beating of the cow with the dog dick, I was like, all right, I'm in. You know, like
My
this,
favorite part.
like what is this? I'm never, and I grew up a big fan of horror movies, and I mean like really like obscene horror movies, like a lot of giallo or giallo, like the kind of vintage Italian horror movies that Dario or Argento did.
Like
You know what I'm
band
talking about?
movies in
Yeah,
the
like
States. Yeah.
Suspiria.
I haven't
You
heard
know
of
the one?
those, but I know of one that I forgot the name of it. But yeah,
They
I
had a
know.
remake that they made of it, but the original is it's sick, man. I mean, it's very occultic. All the movies are. I mean, there's one called the Cat of Nine Tails, and then dude, I mean, Devil's Bride, like all this very graphic, like zoom in on someone getting stabbed in the eye with something,
Yeah.
and it's very visceral. So I don't know. That stuff doesn't bother me. Like hearing you talk about something like that, I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. And so I kind of, that's when I started listening to your podcast, and I was like, oh dude, this guy knows what's up.
I like to pretend.
Oh, dude, you got the juice, man.
Somebody said
Not,
he's in that dog dick. So you were like, beat it with a dog dick. I'm in. Like we're good.
I mean, dude, I'm just being real with you.
I just
I
did
mean,
an
that
episode.
grabbed my attention.
And that's why I start with it. I did an episode with Mark. It just released Wednesday on the Homunculus, and he was like, "Listen, dude, the thing about the carcass and the dog dick and all that stuff." He's like, "It's got to be symbolic," and I'm like, "All right, well, this is the 9th century. Do you know what the first human hybrid was that they created in 1998? Half man, half cow. 1998, the first human hybrid. So tell me how they knew about this in the 9th century. Literally 1,000 years before they were writing about symbolic. Okay, even if it was symbolic, what are the chances that in 1998 they create half man, half cow human hybrid, the first one?
Even if it was symbolic, it still has to stem from somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
All these ancient stories stem from somewhere, and you find them kind of repeating throughout history. But like you said, the homunculus is like the center of everything right now. And didn't Cat Williams bring it up, dude?
Yeah, I got like 200 messages of people sending me that because he did. He talked about it. He was alluding to the homunculus, and then he also talked about the golem, and he was like, there's a certain
The
race
Jewish
of people,
golem. Yeah.
there's a certain race of people that they have used it all throughout history, and I'm like, oh well, it's the Jews. He doesn't want to mention the Jews, and then
well, he's on Joe. He's on Joe Rogan, so you never know who owns who.
Yeah, sure. And then when you come to find out, like the golem was literally used throughout history, like for a long time, not just as a protector, but they were actually fucking the golems. Like, bro, it's bizarre.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, no, dude, it was
that's fuck, man.
That's gnarly, right? It's like,
no, that's it.
There, bro. And here's the thing about these people: they were playing.
Hold on, the Jews were fucking the golems.
They were rabbis, bro. Listen.
Oh, hey, man, I've looked at the Talmud. I haven't read the whole thing, but I mean, dude, you get the big picture if you read just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Listen, dude, they were fucking the golems. I have the receipts. When I read something somewhere, bro, I like to go to the source, and
You're just like me. Yeah, dude.
I was able to find it, and I did because I put that in my set because it's like the reason that they could and get away with it is because since God didn't create it, it was created by them. Therefore, it's not a sin, bro. All right, so it's like,
bro, what the fuck? Okay, so this goes to like, okay, so I was watching Tower Gang the other day because they're fucking hilarious.
Degenerates, yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out Tower Gang. And they were talking about how the Jews are trying to cheat God during
Mhm.
the Shabbos.
Mhm.
Because dude, I was okay. So my mom's dad was adopted by a Jewish family.
Uh-oh.
Okay, no, there's a redemption arc here. Okay.
I don't hate Jews. I love Jews, bro.
Oh, dude, no. The Jewish people are awesome. It's the Zionists at the top that are
Yeah.
the fucking problem, and
Yes.
everyone needs to know it because it's right there in front of our faces. It's just people are so fucking
You broke
indoctrinated
up.
by
Look, you
fear.
froze up when you
And
said that.
oh, I was just saying people are so indoctrinated by the fear porn that they digest daily that they don't see it for how we see it. Once you learn the symbolism, dude, you see it everywhere, bro. Like it's kind of a curse. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, bro, you can't watch shit now, not even a movie with your kid without being like, oh, that's a homunculus. Bro, I watched Inside Out with my daughter the other day. All of them are homunculuses.
Who?
Inside Out, the emotions that are in the little girl, and then she like runs away from home, so the whole inside of her body starts breaking down. Wait a minute. How old's your kid?
He's 6.
I have a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old. So,
I'll have a 6-year-old and a 2-year. He's gonna be 2 next month.
oh man, hell yeah.
So this is a Disney movie? Yeah, Inside Out.
It's a Pixar movie. Look at it. There's fear, anger,
He's watched this. I've seen
sadness,
this.
happiness, and disgust. So there's these 5 emotions that live inside this girl, right?
Yeah.
And they manifest as these little emoji beings, like in her head, and her head's used as a control center. And the mom has it, and the dad has. Everyone in the movie, even the animals have it. And so I wrote down a list, dude. I was going to ask you if these were homunculuses or not. Do you want to do this? Are you down to do this?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right, man. So first up, the Grinch.
Dude, I've talked about that one. Do you know a bunch of people have asked me this stuff before?
Yeah.
The Grinch. The Grinch, I don't know if he was created.
He's green, so he does have that archetype of the Green Man, Osiris, Pan. Yeah. Pan's the son of Hermes. And so, and there you go back to what we were talking about with
Let's see here.
Come on with Hermes.
So I think I ruled him not a homunculus because I don't know how he was created. But I'm reading here to see where he came from. Like where did he come from essentially? Because I don't think there is.
He was just found like on the side of a mountain, right?
He spent the past 53 years living in seclusion. So the Grinch is depicted as a green, furry, pot-bellied, pear-shaped, snub-nosed humanoid creature with a cat-like face and a cynical personality. So he is typically colored green, but there's no like where did he come from?
Right. Yeah, there's no origin story. Look for that. What about the Minions? What do you think about the Minions, bro?
Homunculus. I think they were created by
Groot.
Yeah.
Groot. Yeah, dude. He was definitely like in that lab.
Check this out.
Just jerking off all day, just like making hundreds of them.
So check this out. The Grinch first appeared in a 33-line illustrated poem by Dr. Seuss. 33.
Wait a minute. Dude, this happened. This happens every day with me, dude. I was talking to Nate about it on Schizo News Network last weekend. I for the past like 2 years, I've been seeing 33 and hawks have been like flying in front of my car and shit, like, dude. And yeah, dude. And Thomas sent me this whole bird symbolism from the gods or whatever with like falcons and hawks and whatnot, how it's like a good sign. So, and I've kind of been on the up and up, so it kind of co-aligns with yeah. But yeah, dude.
So here I found something for the Grinch. So the Grinch apparently is based off of.
We're at 33 viewers right now.
We're at 33. Look at that.
Throwing that out there.
Let me hit the Illuminati confirm button. Hold up. I got you.
Illuminati confirmed.
All right. So Dr. Seuss didn't have to look far to find inspiration for the Grinch. Fortunately, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is not directly based on true events, no town, da da da. But apparently, the Grinch himself is based on a real person, his creator, children's literary icon Theodore Seuss
Right.
who wrote under the pseudonym Dr.
He's
Seuss.
Dr. Seuss's homunculus.
Bingo. There you go. You got it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty much. So the
Well,
Green Man. So it was
yeah.
a project. It was an egregore. It was a
Egregore, yeah.
literally. I mean, this is just like Mickey Mouse, bro. Mickey Mouse is, and there's a
Walt
book on
Disney's
this.
homunculus, right?
Walt Disney. Yeah,
I
there's a
heard you
book on
talk
it
about
actually.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's literally a projection of a part of them that is
Speaking of it, dude,
born and yeah.
I got that homunculus right here. He's chilling.
So Grinch, homunculus, here, let's confirm them real quick with the homunculus confirmed.
Homunculus confirmed.
There you go, right there. Homunculus confirmed.
Dude, the first time that I don't know which one it was, like holy fuck, that's a fucking dude. I pissed
Homunculus confirmed. Good God,
Yeah.
that's a homunculus. Certified homunculus.
I forgot I had that one.
Homunculus confirmed. Eat a bag of dog dicks.
There you go. So
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, man. Did Thomas make those for you?
yeah, he did. He made those. But I had a guy. So
awesome.
I had a real person for these.
What the fuck?
That's a real person. And then what else?
Bruh.
No, that's not a real person. Hold on. This is a real person too.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
This is a real person.
Hail Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas
Dude,
Cage as
You're
Jesus
close
Christ.
to Nick Cage. I think you're a lot closer to Nick Cage than you know, man. I mean, you're friends with his son, right? You're friends with what's his name? Wes?
Wes, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I think we're friends, yeah.
No, he seems to like you, dude. I can tell. Imagine being Nick Cage's son, man. Just like walking into the fucking kitchen in the morning for breakfast, and he's just like, "Oh, son, sit down. Hey, look at this book. It's about like," and he just explains to you something that you're just not, something that a child probably wouldn't know, but wouldn't harm them to know. Nothing like
I'm sure
nothing
it's
Crowleyan or anything,
I'm sure it's been hard, bro, for him because I feel like Wes is an awesome guy, super nice. But I imagine having to grow up in the shadow of like one of the most prolific actors, which I actually just
imagine.
I just got back from. The wife surprised me and took me to go see the Arcadian movie. Nick Cage's the one of the newest movies that came out.
Right.
And bizarre, bro. It was bizarre.
His
Like,
movies, dude, he is, and that's where, dude, like, and I know this sounds gay and like, but like when I first started listening to you, I find more and more shit that me and you kind of have in common. And so when I messaged you last week about that episode that you and Ani did about the sadists and
oh yeah, the Cedar Circle.
Yeah, dude. And Jonah and the interpretation of H.P. Blavatsky, which is in this Manly P. Hall book that I've been like reviewing. And I know you're busy. You probably haven't seen any of my shit, dude. And that's fine. I'm not saying like you saw my video 2 days, but like I dropped a video on what y'all were talking about, bro. No,
because we're on the same frequency, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Same thing happened. Austin Picard, if you're out there, bro. That dude, when you send people messages or text, shit sounds like real weird. Like you may sound like you're real like mad, but you're just like, just you may have not typed the right grammar, or put a certain comma where it needs to go. But he just did an episode on the Mothers of Darkness castle that's in Belgium.
Yeah, I've heard about that where people are harassing them and stuff now.
He did. Well, it was more on Marc Dutroux, this French guy who got arrested and sent to prison for trafficking these children and had like 5 under his house in a crawl space. Like real, but it ties into the Abraxas order. Bro, like me and Thomas and Donut, we talked about doing, because I was like, hey, we should, or someone suggested in the comments, like 1 or 2 people did, that we should do something on that. And I had been wanting to do something on that since before I started the podcast. Like when I first looked into that thing, I took like 2 pages of notes on who all owned it, what families they came from. And it's all Saxe-Coburg Gotha bloodline. You know, all the Dutch royal families are tied into those Germanic dynasties because they all stem from the same bloodline. And I don't know if you've seen any of my other stuff that I do on the Anunnaki or the Elohim, the fallen angels, which there's a big difference between the actual Elohim and the fallen angels. The Elohim were the Anunnaki, the what you could say, I guess, Seraphim, Ophinum, because if that wasn't like their spaceship, it was them like manifesting as something.
Wait, what? So the seraphim, those are the like the wheel looking ones, right?
No, that's the Ophinum. The Seraphim are the fiery serpents.
Oh, the red.
Then,
let's see here.
And then the cherubim are the ones with the lion and the bear, you know, that have all. But I think if you interpret them, dude, like when Ezekiel saw them, it's like a spaceship, you know? And that's not if space is fake and gay, you know? We don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude.
Everything
Like
NASA posts is fucking the bottom of a frying pan.
Whoa, dude, I love NASA. I'm wearing my NASA shirt just for this episode.
I'm sorry.
So listen, dude, I think that, and here's the thing about, again, this community where you can't even talk about certain things without being like, you know, that's not even. It's like, bro, let's just have a conversation. Like, we're not talking about it being real. And from my years of research and hours of reading certain literature, I've come to understand as space being another sort of realm and it's used in the occult, and that's why it's so important, even if you believe in the occult or not. I mean, the ties of literally NASA with Jack Parsons, which I think that was my son.
Okay. I was like, is that my son?
It's mine. So the Jack Parsons connection with NASA, where he was literally one of, I don't want to say the greatest occultist, but one of the more infamous occultists that there ever was, at the center of NASA, and him with L. Ron Hubbard, right? Like the whole Babylon, you mentioned earlier, the Babylon working ritual.
Yeah, and the desert.
Yeah, they were both just masturbating in the desert, watching each other.
They were jerking each other off, dude, for sure. They were doing like switch around and reach around.
There was probably some box saga stuff going on.
Tugs, definitely, dude. And
they were definitely doing some of that. But I think that going into space is a sort of initiation. They're mostly Masons, almost all of them. And I think it's like a one and done type of thing where once they go up, they're used one time. And I guess maybe they're unfit either spiritually or something goes on to where they can't be put back up there again.
Yeah, that's the fallen thing. That's that aspect. They can't go back from where they came because they've, degraded their souls. So the Elohim, or, what you would call Enki, Enlil, their sons, Marduk. The Agigi, the fallen angels, the Agigi, or you would say the cherubim, I think, who are on Mars. If you ascribe to Sitchin, if you use Sitchin as a reference, because you don't have to. Who? You don't?
Some people don't. I mean, I've never read his work.
Dude, he has some. The Lost Book of Enki, regardless if it's all bullshit, dude, it's one of the best stories ever written. But when you line that up right next to the Book of Enoch, dude, I don't know if you know, but I do. I started a Pantheon project with Adrian West. Shouts out Adrian. He was on Mark Steve's podcast like a month before I started Greypilled. But right before I went on Reality Czars for my first podcast, right before I got their YouTube taken. Well, me, Cody,
and you Isaac. Really?
Dude, it was first my buddy Oddfellows. Well, now he's my friend. He went on right before me, and it was his first podcast, and he did my logo for me. So I think I was messaging you about the logo at the time because I couldn't find anybody to do a good one, and Thomas was too busy. And then Isaac from Organite went on after me, and apparently he's the one who got it shut down finally. And so
he was already on walking on thin ice, but to each
but
their
then
own.
My Instagram got restricted, dog. So I'm like,
Were you posting Jew stuff?
No, dude. No. This was before I got like I've always been aware of fucking Zionists. And like I said, my grandfather was adopted by a Jewish family. My grandmother converted. I was raised culturally Jewish until 13. My parents divorced when I was young. And so
Illuminati confirmed.
God damn it, Juan. Okay. So and so my mom had a woman live with her as a roommate. You know. And so everyone at the temple, the synagogue, knew that. And I heard people talk about me, dude. Like, and fuck that place, man. I got my head busted open in that place, running around during like a Rosh Hashanah or some shit. Someone opened the fucking door and like, dude, I blood everywhere. I was screaming. I was like, oh, motherfucker, oh, where's my mom? And I think I pissed myself, probably.
That was after you got your head cut open.
Yeah, dude. I was scared, you know. I thought I was gonna die. My mom was like, "You're fine. You're just bleeding a bunch." You know, I was like, "I don't fucking know. I can't see." You know. I guess I blacked out. Probably my first time blackout. But
how old are you?
I left during my bar mitzvah study. So now I'm glad I never had a bar mitzvah because I think it's an initiation into something. Something a little, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know all these words I'm saying. Like, yeah, you interpret them to me this way. You give me this translator to translate. You basically get like your Haf Torah and your like a book in the Torah. And you sing it basically. You recant it or whatever. Like, and yeah,
I don't know anything about.
Dude, so I heard them talking about my mom one day, and I just walked outside, lit up a cigarette. I was 13. I had already turned 13, but I had postponed it because I was already like a fucking shit kid. I was skateboarding and into punk, and I had quit playing tennis. And yeah, that may sound gay, fucking, whatever.
The tennis or the skate punk thing?
No, not the skate. The tennis, obviously, Juan.
No, I almost did tennis one time.
I like tennis, dude. No, I was just joking. It was a fellow attempt at a joke.
Tennis is fake and gay.
No, not tennis. The Jewish religion, maybe. I don't know.
Again, I know nothing about the Jewish religion. I was this is my thing with religions, bro. I think that we all have a part of the puzzle. And it's all just jumbled up. And I think we're all arguing about the same thing, just from different angles, like from different perspectives. Yep. And it's like this whole bullshit of like, these are the chosen people. These aren't, like that to me.
We aren't. Yeah.
Like that's wild to me, dude, to look at yourself as I hate everyone equally. I'm just going to get that out the way. I hate everyone.
That's fine,
equally.
dude. Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of
people, I try to love everyone because I'm a follower of Christ now.
Yeah. But I don't look at anybody as subhuman more than other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not down with that sort of sickness. So
I don't look at myself as greater than anybody. Have you
ever heard of the? I'm not too familiar with it. With
it's okay if y'all play tennis. I love tennis. I actually, but sorry, Juan.
Did somebody say tennis?
Yeah.
Sherry plays tennis.
She played tennis. That's great. No, and I was good, dude. I quit because I had an anger problem. Like I said, my parents got divorced when
tennis would be good for that, bro.
Well, bro, they moved me down to the kids. They were like, you're a little too much. And I'm like, so y'all are gonna put me with kids? You want me to kill one of these little motherfuckers? And so I got there, and the kids were like, I was like, sorry, I'm a little rusty. I haven't played in a couple months. And the kids were like, your name's Rusty. And I fucking left. I was like, I'm gone. Which my house was in walking distance from the tennis court too. Back then you could walk in Jackson. Now you would get raped by a carload of gang members.
Nowadays?
Oh, dude, for sure. Yeah.
Really, dude? It's that bad there?
Yeah, bro, it's bad, man. Jackson's one of the maybe number 2 in the country. It's the poorest. I mean, Mississippi's the poorest state in the country.
What are the rapists though? Are they black? Are they Indian? Are they Iranian? What are they?
What do you think? Well, I don't know. See, it depends because you go to some parts of the Tri-County area, like Rankin County, and they may be white rapists, you know?
Raping is not cool, people. Don't rape people.
No. If you rape somebody, you deserve to be strung up and shot in the street.
That's
Anyway,
wild, though, bro.
so I left the temple, dude, because I heard my mom's name in these people's mouths. I never went back. Became an atheist, basically. I was like, well, fuck that. You know, God's going to judge my mom for living with a lesbian. Like, you know, that doesn't make sense. And so, basically, I found Christ back in 2018. And once I got into the esoteric and, you know, more conspiracies or the supernatural, all of it, it kind of like brought me closer to my relationship with my creator and Christ, dude. And this is one book. We'll get back to the homunculus list. Don't worry. I have everything on a mental note in my head.
That's the thing about people don't like to admit, but the more you look into conspiracies and the more you look into esoterica in the occult, it leads to one thing and one thing only, and that's like the worship of God. Like that, it leads to one place. And now some people don't want to go there. It's like, no. And I think that's where you get like a split off where it's like people want to do the opposite of that, because I think they start to realize like, oh, this is all about going back towards God. Well, God's not cool. Jesus Christ isn't cool. So I don't want to do that. And I want to do the inverted of whatever those people say to you know, that I want to do. Right. And so, yeah, what's the book that you're talking about?
Well, I had mentioned it to you. You know, I would send you messages, just randomly. I
got a lot of messages, bro.
Before we started to correspond. I know, man. I know. The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ, dude.
The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ?
Yeah, man. You could look at it, you know, look it up if you want to. I can kind of tell you a little bit about it. So it's basically, it was.
Come on, bro. He.
Yeah. No, but
Dowling said he. Dowling said he had transcribed the text of the book from the Akashic records, bro.
But when you read it, dude, the stuff that it says, it
I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
A lot more.
I shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
You can judge a book by its cover. It's okay.
But this is like source. Listen,
I understand.
Trust me, bro.
But see, who is this kid that had this, you know, vision or epiphany or revelation? Dude, when you read it, you'd be like, all right, well, okay, let me look into this a little more. Because, bro, it talks about Christ consciousness. It talks about, and this was before it, you know, was a thing or anything. When this came out of him, Christ goes through 7 initiatory, you could say, rituals inside of the Great Pyramid. Not rituals as far as what people think, like, you know, creepy fucking, you know, like a test of faith. You know what I mean? But all these different tests of faith, and it was 7 of them. You know, 7's a big number. There's 7 ways to interpret the Bible. I mean, I have actually an entire list of my 7.
So it's here in the late 19th century. He claimed it was the true story of the life of Jesus Christ, including the last 18 years silent in the New Testament. So
exactly, that's the one part. Juan, is the lost 18 years when he goes to Western Tibet, and he goes to India. He goes to all these other places. He spends time in Egypt, spend time in Greece, with some dude named Apollo. Not the Apollyon figure, but some like mystic, and the Oracle of Delphi. But the book isn't sacrilegious. It doesn't. What's the word? go against
It's not
any.
blasphemous
Yeah,
or
no,
heretical.
not at all, dude. And in fact, it's not. I don't really look at it as much of a new age. I mean, you could interpret it as that because it talks about the Piscean and Aquarian age and
Yeah.
the Christ consciousness and the Akashic records. But when you read it, man, there's a lot of truth in it, dude. And it's like, how did this kid come up with all this? It's very.
This was a denomination, bro. The Aquarius, the Aquarian Gospel, the Aquarian Church.
Something you should look into, man. Just I don't know about the Aquarian Church. I mean, that'd be cool to check out. We go to a church that's non-denominational. We don't go every Sunday as we should, but we try.
That's interesting, bro. Yeah, no, and that's the thing, bro. That I'm nobody to take it away from this guy. And I forgot who I was talking to about this. I think I was talking to my wife about it, where like God spoke to me. And I'm like, how do you know it was God? Well, I was the voice of God. How do you know? How do you know it wasn't something else? Because anyone can really say that. But that's the thing about whatever deity or source is. It's this experience that you go through. But I think perhaps, listen, I think that there are people who receive stuff, and then I think there's charlatans that talk about receiving stuff when they actually didn't, because they know that there are people who are going to believe it. And that's the
Right.
unfortunate part about it, where it's been saturated with people who are just trying to get attention, and they see that this is an easy way of getting attention. So they talk about, like, yeah, God spoke to me, he told me to do this. Like, did you see that pastor that ran this whole crypto scam, and then he's like, because God told me I needed to make this
No,
crypto. You didn't
no,
see that?
nuh-uh.
Dude, look that up. He was like, he was pretty much blaming God. Preacher blames God for crypto scandal. So a pastor in Denver who said that God told him to sell cryptocurrency that could not be cashed is facing civil charges along with his wife for marketing a digital coin that prosecutors said was practically worthless and using the proceeds to support a lavish lifestyle. So they like built this crazy house
Of
from the
course.
money. They pulled out, I think it was like $1 million or $2 million. So pastor accused of $3.2 million crypto scam.
Jesus, man.
Bro.
I don't know how you could live with yourself doing something like that. I don't know, man. That's just so much guilt.
But God
It,
told me,
it, it
bro.
would seem right. Yeah.
But God said I needed to make this cryptocurrency, and he was the one that told me to cash out. He was the one that told me to dunk on these fools and you know, shit on these holders. Let them hold the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it,
dude, some people think that they're talking to God, but I'm going to give you an opinion of mine. Some of the Old Testament, most of it, I think, I I think it's different deities that are speaking. I think the way it's described, especially lately since I've gone back and read through it, and I've read Sumerian, these Sumerian texts or what is translated from these texts multiple times, and there's a certain number of deities that it lines up with. And
mhm.
so I think some people put God in a box and they kind of they don't question anything. I think God wants us to question into him, knowing he's real, but question his nature, dive deeper into what he is and what he, or what the spirit embodies.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's drawn me closer to Christ is just that feeling, man. Once you've felt the Holy Spirit, there's nothing else like that.
You know,
Um,
I've talked about that before, where because I played guitar for a long time at my church, and it is a real
okay,
thing, right? It is a real thing, and in my church they would go crazy, right? Pentecostals, they just go wild, and they start doing the flips and speaking in tongues and doing all that, and fainting and doing all that stuff. So, but when you're in the zone with that sort of energy, right? When you're in like and I'm not talking, there's been times where the service goes on and I was like, like whatever, it wasn't that great. But there was some days where it was like, damn, like this is crazy. Like this energy today is wild, right? Because it's a thing that comes around every now and again, but it's got to be the right conditions. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. And I think it involves everyone being synchronized together and just being on a level of, I don't want to say consciousness, but on a frequency, a certain frequency to be able to activate that. Now, I'm not saying that God is a frequency. I'm just saying that similar. Well, I'm not going to say that either, but similar to how like ceremonial magic needs to meet certain criteria, the same thing comes into worship, where you need to meet a certain criteria and align yourself with a certain way to
pray a certain way.
Exactly. Yeah. Which
And
again, I how do I word this? I admire these religions that pray, like was it Muslims that pray 5 times a day, where they're committed like to their religion, because a lot of Christians aren't.
Oh,
They're not
dude,
praying
and
5
that's
times a day.
one thing you'll see is more people who aren't quoting, Christians align with the teachings of Christ more than a lot of Christians do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because they were saved once, and then they go to church every Sunday, but
Mhm.
they don't take any accountability for the things they do. They still live in a material world, and we all do. We all live in this material world, but I don't know, to acknowledge that and then kind of try to not so much. That's what I've been trying to do, especially my kids, man, trying to live in the moment and stuff. It's so hard with day-to-day life, and you got all this
Yeah.
shit going on, and then the world as crazy as it fucking is right now, bro. And it's hard, but if you can find time to do that, it's so worth it, man. Like at the end of the day, that feeling of, and like the smile on your kids' faces, and your wife is happy,
Mhm.
in which you'll be happy later that evening.
Yeah. Hopefully, right?
Yeah. I mean, in my case, but anyway, man, let's get back to the list.
The
All right, brother.
list.
So obviously I wrote this list around Christmas. Frosty the Snowman. I know it's a magic hat, but
Is it?
is it? Exactly.
Frosty the
Is it
Snowman?
the hat
Damn.
that's magic?
Yeah,
Or maybe
that'd
it's his
be
pipe, dude. It's what's in his pipe. Maybe he's got some fucking Deemsters in there and he's just blasting off every 5 minutes.
so Frosty the Snowman. So what's the story? Give me a little bit of his background. So you said his hat is magical. They put the hat on and he animates.
Yeah. When they put it on his head. Yeah. He began to dance
That'd
around.
be like
Yeah,
it's Golem territory, bro. It's like
exactly. Okay, so it's in there with the homunculus.
let's throw a homunculus confirmed on that. Hold up.
There you go, man.
Hold up.
Smoking some DMD.
Homunculus
There we go.
confirmed. Certified homunculus.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, man. Santa's elves.
Yeah, homunculus, bro.
For sure. And dude, when I was looking into this book right here, Unseen Forces, I know you've read this.
Unseen for by who?
By the
Oh
goat.
man, I don't. Well, I probably skimmed through it,
dude.
Unseen
It's
Forces,
just about
man.
Paracelsus and
with the elementals and stuff.
yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
I love it, dude.
Nature
I love
spirits.
it. Talks about the dweller on the threshold. It talks about specters and ghosts, but it talks about the ghosts, the salamanders,
Yeah, I've covered that one.
sylphs and the undimes. Yeah, well, I'm covering it right now too. So
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
may not be as good as yours, but
It's just as good, bro.
It'll be something, bro.
I promise.
I have my little take on it, but yeah, man. So when it talks about the gnomes, it talks about Elfheim, right? About the Norse and how elves are from this different. Now, if you look at the Norse mythology and you look at Helheim, and this is what I believe hell may be for some people, is this different dimension. There's like 7, I think. Of course, there's 7. in the Norse mythology kind of world. And I think this alludes to, it goes back to the same pantheon of these Sumerian deities.
So the Niflheim, Niflheim,
Nephilim, Nephilim or
however the
Nephilim.
fuck you say it. In Norse mythology, the cold, dark, misty world of the dead, ruled by the goddess Hel, and that sounds like Nephilim, right? So
Right? Yeah.
Niflheim, you know, I'm sure.
Nephilim, Nephilim,
Yeah,
Nephilim,
Nephilim.
Nephilim, Nephilim, Nephilim,
So
Nephilim. Yeah. Um, but so these dwarves, and that's what I found fascinating, man, is when it talks about like these dwarves in a different ether, like mending your bones and shit. You know what I mean?
what?
Bro, really? Hold on.
Listen, dude, I read a lot
Bro,
of stuff. It
bro.
goes in, it
Okay.
goes out on a podcast, and I'm on to
Okay.
the next.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna read this a little bit. I've already done an episode on it. Under the direction of wiser ones, gnomes that is, they have charge of all the solids, bones, and other tissues of the human body, working with them and restoring them. No broken bones would be set, were if not for the assistance of the gnomes. Then it gets into the
Oh,
king of the gnomes being called Gob, and that's where goblin is derived from. And that goes in with the elves and everything because apparently their domain is in the northern hemisphere, whereas
yeah.
the salamanders, being fire salamanders, are in the southern hemisphere. And bro, those I think it's in Initiate of the Flame, maybe.
Yeah,
Where there's
I
like
did
a
the
depiction of the fire salamanders, and it looks like Snarf from Thundercats
yeah.
with like horns and
It
like
was
long
episode
ass hairs and shit.
179, Elemental Entities and Paracelsian Prophecies. Yeah, I did that back in October,
That's awesome, man.
and
I think I heard that one maybe.
it was based on something completely different though, bro. That the reason I got into the elemental stuff, it was based off of this book. I'm trying to remember. Manly P. Hall talked about the book, and it was this guy. Golly, let me find this guy's name. Yeah, there's just so much information. So I talked about Comte de Gabalis,
Yeah,
and he
Belial.
had this book where, let me find it, the book, and I did an episode with Mark on our members show, the finding of the completion of the Fulton Elliott Fair, and so this book that he wrote here, the Comte de Gabalis, a 17th century French text by Abbé Nicolas Pierre Henry de Montfaucon de Villars. God, that's a long name. And he wrote a book. So is an esotericist who explains the mysteries of the world to the author. So it's like a book that where they're telling a story to another guy in it, and he gets into the sylphs, the undines, and all this craziness. But the interesting part about this is that allegedly the book was it was supposed to be taken as satire. Like the guy who wrote it was trying to make
Really?
fun of mysticism, but the problem
Huh.
with that was that occultists, like, look at this. So prominent occult writers, many later authors have also taken it to be serious sources, to be a serious source, including prominent occult writers such as Eliphas Levi, Helena Blavatsky, and Manly P. Hall. So they took this work that was supposed to be a troll, essentially what it was, and they're like, this is the real deal. So it's like, now who do you believe? If you have people saying like, no, this was supposed to be fake, like it was supposed to be make it so in recent times it has been considered by some to have been intended as a satire of occult philosophy, and though in its time it was taken seriously by many readers, it wasn't supposed to be taken seriously.
Interesting,
So
man.
where do you go from there, bro? Like if
Yeah.
it's
I don't know,
satire,
man.
but then people are, and that's what I feel like a lot of this stuff in the occult is like. For example, like, and listen, I think that everyone has their own journey when it comes to finding enlightenment or whatever it is. And I don't know if you listened to the episode or not, the live podcast that we did with the Nephilim Death Squad guys, where
Yeah. I had listened to it the other day,
you
dude.
so when Tripley's talking about the people are in different levels of spirituality, I guess, and it's like, well, the Bacchus, they want to suck their own dicks for enlightenment, The other people don't. It's cool if you want to suck your own dick and maybe your homie's dick too, because that's how you reach alignment in that
That's how
particular
you get
system.
down. Yeah.
But it's not for me.
No.
But the way I get to enlightenment isn't any different than how he got to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one goal. Obviously one's
Yeah.
more preferred than the other, but there's really two extremes, but he was pretty much hinting at that. And it's like these guys, maybe again, they take this sort of material and they turn it into something, which that happens over and over again. For example, I brought up space earlier and how it's used in occult rituals. Well, Kenneth Grant and the whole H.P. Lovecraft stuff, which is super interesting, bro, because they took the
Oh, yeah. I
Necronomicon,
love the
which
Necronomicon,
was
man.
a fake book, a fake grimoire,
Right.
and these dudes are doing the stuff how this is real. This is an actual deity, and it's like, bro, what? Like the dude
Well,
told you it was fake.
Inanna's descent is described in Sumerian text, I'm pretty sure. And dude, I mean, there's myths of Ishtar being a human woman, and when the Watchers came down, or the Ajiji came down to mate or to go to Marduk's wedding, and they saw the women, and they were like, "Oh shit, what's up?"
Oh, is that also in the Sumerian stuff too? Where they
That
come down?
man, yeah,
Wow,
that's
that's
an
wild.
Enki in the World Order. Marduk married one of Enoch's daughters, so Enoch's name in Sumer was called Enmerkar, and he was a king. They were all kings. Noah was Ziasudra or
Mhm.
Utnapishtim.
Yeah,
And it doesn't say this in the Bible or anything. I mean,
Atrahasis. Yeah,
yeah, Adrahasis, yeah, and that's
Mhm.
one of the titles of another scroll. But dude, that Sitchin Lost Book of Inky, when
So
he and
that's
it's
in
kind
that
of a
book.
story. It's translated from these scrolls. He kind of puts it together as a story, but these scrolls, how it's translated, dude, it's depictions of the Old Testament. You see sons of Enlil go into Sodom and Gomorrah and destroy it and like laugh about it. These archangels, and you're thinking like, oh shit, these are sons of Yahweh or whatever,
So in this book, the Lost Book of Enki, Memoirs and Prophecies of an Extraterrestrial God, that's where you're talking about that it has all this?
yes. And dude, it may be fake and gay. Who knows? We'll never
Probably.
know. I don't know. Read it, dude. I know,
I read everything, bro. I mean, obviously with the whole homunculus thing, it's some people are like, why would you ever even read that? Why this is crazy. It's like, well, it's a part of history. Now,
dude.
how much of history is real or not? That's a whole other debate. But no, this is really interesting, dude. I when I first started into the esoteric and the occult, I was super fascinated with the Anunnaki. And I remember when I first learned about the story of creation there and even the Gnostic story of creation too. I was like,
Oh yeah, man.
with Yaldabaoth and
The Secret Book of John.
all, bro,
I
all that.
love the Gnostic Gospels, man. Big fan of the Nag Hammadi text.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, dude, these Sumerian stories though, and me and my buddy Adrian West, who I was saying Mark had on his show, he's writing a series of books, 6 to be exact, called Pantheon 1, The Golden Veins. So he has a co-author that he met just through like blogging and on Facebook on this group. And Adrian, he's a filmmaker. He does all these concerts. He's an editor. He's
Oh,
a
Mark told
boxer
me
and a
about this
trainer.
book.
Yeah, man. We have something now called, it's like Elohim etymology or the Pantheon Project. And that's what I had messaged you the day I listened to your podcast with the Nephilim Death Squad. Shout out Nephilim Death Squad.
Nah, fuck those guys. Don't shout them out.
Oh man, those guys are fucking hilarious, man. Dude, when I
Everything's
had listened,
hilarious.
I think Top was talking about that guy that they interviewed, and he was having encounters with an entity named Anu. And I was like, well, fuck me sideways. 3 days ago, I just did an episode about the Sky Father of the Anunnaki named Anu.
Yeah, I thought it
where,
was a typo when you sent me. I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
bro, and it's
Ani? You're
always
like,
like
no,
3
Anu.
days after I do an episode, someone's talking about it randomly on this episode that I decide to listen to at work. And I'm like, there has to be a collective consciousness in some way, you know?
Well, it's also the when you put out art, because this is art. When you put out art and people interact with it, that does something on, again, I don't want to get too, but on another level of reality. And I think that's what happens with, like, when you have all these synchronicities and stuff like that. It's because it's
Yeah.
being charged up by people interacting with it. And remind me to tell you something off air that I did
Yeah.
that I'm not going to reveal yet because it hasn't been completed, but I'll
I got
I'll
you,
I'll
bro.
tell you about it. And so you can see how this sort of stuff works, because it's really bizarre
It's
the way it
real,
does.
dude.
No, it is,
And
yeah,
and
100%.
and when you acknowledge it, and like I said, bro, I was trying to start this podcast over a little bit over a year ago. And so I kind of had a little more time. Um Dude, I listened to I guess I started listening to Coast to Coast back in like 2015, 2014. Um I always knew about Coast to Coast. I found out about Bohemian Grove. My wife, back when we first started dating, she showed it to me. Um, and that was back in like 2011, 2012. And so I was always aware of things, but like I talked to you about, man, like I was partying and getting fucked up, and I didn't have my shit fully together yet. And so I didn't really like learn about anything else up until like 2015, 2016. But yeah, man, when you start to podcast with people, it's crazy, these synchronicities that you find with all these other people. And it's like, there's a reason we're a part of this community, even though it took me a lot longer than y'all to get there. You know what I mean? And I haven't gotten that many plays or listens, and dude, that's fine. I don't
Yeah,
give
but
a
don't
shit.
worry about that.
Dude, no, man, I'm not, because it's because of the, like, these friendships that I'm making, and these I don't know how to say it. It's just more. It's more to me now than just like listening to a podcast.
Mhm.
You feel me? It becomes a lot more when you get more involved in it. But dude, this is like therapy for me. Like, this has helped me so much. Like, my mental sanity.
Does your
You
wife
know?
like any of this shit or no?
Oh, dude, yeah, she's down with all of it, dude. She wants to start her own little thing, dude. She's had a couple encounters with some UFOs, dude. But she's into Carl Jung, and she's into a whole lot of cool shit, dude. You probably would like talking with her, man. Like, she's an intellectual, very much so, like you. Way more than me. Like, I'm good at researching things and learning things, and I know a lot of things, but when it comes to talking, I'm good at it, but I could be better.
We all
You feel
can
me?
be.
Well, yeah, but I'm comparing myself to you or to Thomas. I I have a few things I need to work on.
We all do. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it for 5 years, so it doesn't come naturally at all. Like,
No.
and that was the whole thing with, like, the stand up, where you can talk in front of people live on a show, or millions of people have downloaded my podcast that have heard my voice, but as soon as I stand up in front of, it was like 200 people there or something, I freak out. Like, I start to hyperventilate and stuff like that. It's like, it
For
was
real,
weird
dude?
because, yeah, oh dude, yeah, ask Thomas. He was like,
You
bro,
start sweating and shit?
yeah. And I don't know
That's
if you
how
did
I
an
get
episode with
sometimes,
this
man.
guy, but there was this guy named Brandon was there, I'm pretty sure that's his name. The guy from he was just on tinfoil. He actually texted me the other day. He was, let me get his name right.
What episode was it?
Brad Lale, I think is his name. The Awaken podcast. He was there.
The 33rd parallel.
Yeah, that guy.
Episode. Yeah. Okay.
So he
I
was
heard
there,
that, man.
and he was by himself, and I didn't know he was by himself, but he kept like trying to talk to me a little bit, and I was like trying to get in the zone. And he saw at one point, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking to you, bro. I see that you're trying to get in the like the mental headspace," because I was, but it's like, yeah, dude, I don't do well with public speaking whatsoever.
I'm getting there, dude. Yeah.
But I think that it's important to push yourself out of your comfort zone, and I think that's why I did that, because it was one of those things where, listen, dude, the conditions were right. I said there was a lot of people there who I knew. If I bomb, then I bomb in front of friends. It's not so bad, right? It's between, but then more people, like outside people, start showing up, and that's when I started to freak out, because the first hour was inside. Our first 2 hours was inside. I'm like, oh, I can do this. I'm looking around. Oh, there's not that many people. There's like 100
during the
people.
daytime and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
It's like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm good.
More.
I'm good. I was like, all right, we can do this. And he's like, no, it's gonna be outside. He's like, there's 200 people coming. I was like, oh, all right, so double the amount. So I started I'm like, double the amount of people. Okay, I think I can do it. And then it was just like, you just get in your head type of thing. But I think it's important to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because I think that's where the growth is. And the conditions were right. And I was just like, whatever, just go for it,
Yeah,
like,
man. Too many people are comfortable, bro. Like, it's okay to get comfy, like, especially when you've been working all day and you want to come home and relax and, do what we're doing, or whatever it is you want to do. But daily comforts, just like complacency in certain things, not wanting to walk 5 extra steps, you know what I mean, to do something. I don't know, man. It's just sad to see, man.
yeah, but
I try to stay motivated in everything I do, whether it's music. I've been trying to start a fucking band for like 5-6 years, dude. No one has. It's either like schedules are completely different. My little brother just moved down to Hattiesburg, which is like an hour south of here. So, he plays guitar, so we jam a whole lot. We play a bunch of Black
Sabbath. It's gonna be like podcasting. You're gonna make in the episode that you and I had. I think we had to push it back a week, didn't we? Like, it's
bro.
It's gonna.
Well, you had asked me, dude, and I'm like, dude, like, yeah, of course, because you were like, bro, do you think we? And you were like, if not, it's cool. And I'm like, no, dude, like, of course, I got you. Like, dude, you coming on my show, man, means so much to me, Juan. Like, for real, dude.
I was where you were at one point. I remember doing episode 8, and I remember, being there. So it's like, we all got to start somewhere. As long as you're not a piece of shit and be good to everybody else, I think that's the secret. And talk about whatever you want to talk about, bro. Don't worry about what this is or what that is. Like, as long as you cover things that you're passionate about, that you're researching, that's it. Don't worry about anything else, because the rest comes by itself, and it's gonna come, bro. But like right now, my show is just getting started. Like, and I've been doing it again since 2019, and it's just now, like, starting to take off. Like, growth. Like, you see it, but so it doesn't happen overnight. And everyone that I know who has big shows, they've been doing it for 7 years plus. So you got to stick to it. Be consistent,
for sure.
And as long as you're consistent. And have fun, dude. If you stop having fun, just stop doing it. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, dude. You could let it stress you out, but I don't know, man. There's something about this that I just really like, and I think if I keep working at it, like you said, I'm not gonna give up or go anywhere.
We'll check back in episode 108.
Right, somewhere around there, dude. Yeah. So. All right, Mickey Mouse. That's homunculus. Confirmed,
Good God,
right?
That's a homunculus.
Good God, that's a homunculus.
What about the Smurfs, dude?
100% homunculus, bro.
Homunculus. I didn't know if they may have been like nature spirits.
Certified homunculus.
So they say, and that was one of the things that Cat Williams brought up, where he was like, "Oh, the guy Gargamel or whatever the guy's name, he wants to capture the little Smurfs to break them down to, I think, get gold or something. They're using for like experiments, but the main Smurf, the Papa Smurf, I think,
Papa Smurf, yeah.
he makes gold, bro. Like he makes
He's
gold.
an alchemist. Yeah,
Yes.
man. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bro.
I never thought about it. And then you got Gargamel over there, like, you know,
got that
worshiping
Juno
Meridak and shit.
Yeah. So that, and then the cat is his familiar and all that stuff. So
dude, I never thought about this. Yeah, the cat's name is Azrael. That's the angel of death.
Really?
Yeah, man.
No way. Hold on.
It's not Azazel, because Azazel is the Marduk figure. Bound in sin. Marduk was bound inside the pyramid. Azrael. Okay, well, yeah, that's the angel of death.
Do you know what H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name was?
What?
I don't know. I can't say it. We're on YouTube, but Google it real quick, bro. Have a laugh. So Azrael in Islam is the angel of death who separates souls from their bodies. Wow, that's crazy, dude. That's the name of the cat?
That's the name of Gargamel's cat, yeah.
Whoa. That's wild.
So, okay, so
don't read it out loud. Don't read H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name out loud. Does anybody in the chat know? I got 45 people watching over here, so somebody's got to know. Somebody's got to know the cat's name. H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
Oh, dude.
That's crazy. What does that one mean, bro?
Why?
Because he was racist. That's why.
Oh shit, man! I didn't know that he was.
100%, bro. He was racist as fuck.
Then why was he translating the Mad Arab?
Bro, that's interesting. I mean, again, that's it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting connection. Why was his alter ego Abdul Al-Hazred, which was like a Muslim? Yeah, like
right.
What?
Yeah, dude. I
don't know.
So Rumpelstiltskin, bro. Rumpelstiltskin, spinning thread into gold, right?
Rumpels. How do you spell that?
Rumpel. It's that old fairy tale of that guy in that dungeon. The dude with he looks like a fucking hermit warlock.
Rumpelstiltskin. Hold on. German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm in 8.
There you go. There's your grimoire right there.
Oh, good one, bro. I like that. Brothers
Grimm.
Man. Yeah. Hold on. It won't even load for me. Here we go. All right. So German fairy tale was collected by Brothers Grimm. Yeah, that's awesome. Brother Jacob and Wilhelm. Brothers Grimm. Interesting. And all the Disney stories came from these guys too, because they have Cinderella, the Frog Prince, Hansel and Gretel, Town Musicians of Bremen, Little Red Riding Hood.
Dude. I think he spins thread into gold, doesn't he?
Here, so in order to appear superior, Miller brags to the kings and people of the kingdom he lives in by claiming his daughter can spin straw into gold. The king calls for the girl, locks her up in the tower full of straw and a spinning wheel, and demands she spins the straw into gold by morning, or he will have her killed. And she has given up. A little imp-like man appears in the room and spins the straw into gold in return for her necklace of glass beads. Bro.
Certified homunculus.
Check this out. The strange creature suggests that she pays him with her first child. She reluctantly agrees, and he sets about spinning the straw. Wow, she just sacrificed her first-born child.
Yeah, dude.
So this little homunculus.
That's some Nephilim shit.
That is some Nephilim shit right there. Bro. Wow, look at this. Also known as Tom Tit Tot. Wow, that's crazy, dude.
So, Pinocchio.
Did you see Guillermo del Toro's Netflix?
No.
Oh, bro, what?
Is it good?
Oh
I
yeah,
saw his Cabinet of Curiosities. Did you watch that?
I did. That was
Bro,
bizarre too.
that shit, the one where they found the space alien and he just starts like eviscerating them.
And my favorite one
I
was the
love
table
that
one,
one.
the
I
relic.
wish Eric Andre would have died, but that guy fucking sucks.
So yeah, watch Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio on Netflix. It goes hard. That's all I'm gonna say.
Uh, Yiska said Rumpelstiltskin is a demon. I'm calling it not a homunc.
Yiska doesn't know what she's talking about, so we're gonna ignore her. But yeah, probably it is imp like. So think of like the red, like Napoleon's red little man, kind of sort of, right? He offers you it's like a Faustian bargain, like Mephistopheles. Like,
Did you
hey,
just say red little man? Didn't you do that episode about Napoleon? Was that you?
yeah, with Narco Longo's little brother.
Yeah. Dude, that red man, dude.
That's just
I
bizarre, right?
heard. Ah, fuck. Okay, next time I hear about it or I see it again because I wrote it down somewhere in my I have like a fucking Pantheon journal, dude. I have like a note
Are
thing
you like
for my esoteric book
Pinocchio,
reviews.
homunculus,
Okay, so Pinocchio.
Pikachu, not a homunculus? Like, is that what you're doing, bro? Late at night?
No, that's just a small list, dude. It's a very small list. I do have like a baseless like list of a bunch of conspiracies that I'm just like questioning. Maybe we can read those before we get out of here in a second. But let's finish this off. So Pinocchio.
Golem territory. So
Okay. So
Certified
Golem.
he's
homunculus.
he's animated, right? So he's like, and there's a distinction to be made. So there's amulets and then there's talismans. The talisman is magical. The amulet is the housing place for this entity. So
What does the talisman do for the entity?
an amulet is like a genie in a bottle type of thing, where
Okay.
the genie lives in that bottle,
Right.
right? A talisman is like, hey, this is the spear of destiny that pierced the side of Jesus. It got a little bit of Jesus' blood on it, therefore
Okay.
it is magic. You know what I'm saying? So the talisman, the object is right, like so, like the schlong. The object is the magic. The amulet, it's like here's this cursed emerald that holds a demon, and if you crack it open, the demon comes out and he butt fucks you, like that sort of thing. Like,
Okay. So do talismans protect you from demons?
depends on how you make the talisman, bro. That's part of it, because talismans, it involves mathematics and the
So
alignment of
why
the
would the
stars and stuff.
church like okay, so I know using the name of Christ can cast out demons, but why does the church like prohibit like talismans if they're made in the correct way? If they're made channeling like, you know, love and whatever, you know.
I
As
don't
gay
think
as
it
that sounds, Juan, we have to we have to ask these questions, okay?
what does a talisman created with love look like, bro? I mean, I don't know. I think
I
that
don't know, man.
it's
I've
not the talisman that matters, bro. I think it's the concept of using. So part of talismanic magic is using
explain
what the
that to me, yeah.
church prohibits is the use of outside forces
Okay.
to help you, aid you in the creation of that talisman. Now, mind you, that a lot of these alchemists were theologians, they were part of the church. And the reason that they were able to get away with it, because not only were they good talkers and good scammer salesmen, essentially, they were like, listen, this is natural magic. So if God put this in nature, he'd be okay with me mixing it up. And if it
Do you
just so
believe in
happens,
natural magic still, or do you believe that this like our realm is too
there's two
convoluted
different
with
types
these
of
other spirits?
no,
Because I
I
know
think
there's higher and lesser magic, especially when you get to Solomonic magic,
mhm.
and
Well, there you go. So Solomonic magic is goetic in nature. So you're
right,
using the
the
Goetia.
Goetia. Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's the rank of explain to me more of what the Goetia is, man, because I've
So
kind of delved into it, but not too much.
the Goetia is again a set of entities that you're able to tap into. And the whole thing with King Solomon was that he was one of the greatest depends on which story you read. One of the greatest occultists of all time, he was given a ring, a talisman that he was able to control these entities with. Okay. Now,
Right.
there's a whole bunch of different interpretations about that, but essentially was that he was able to command these demons. Solomon was known for capturing demons, controlling demons, and having, again, depending on which story you read, one of the temples was built by a horde of demons. And another story, a
Yeah.
demon replaces Solomon on the throne and actually rules for a time while Solomon was out.
This is in the Bible?
No, not in the Bible. I forget what extracurricular reading
I have to
material
look
it is.
into that.
Yeah,
Hold on.
it's really interesting, bro. There's
Write
a
that down,
book.
bro.
I'm gonna give you this book. It's called Solomon. So hold on. It's called. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link here on a private chat.
Okay.
But for the people listening, don't share that. But for the people listening, they can check out. This is a really good book, actually. King Solomon the Magus, Master of the Jinn and Occult Traditions of East and West by Claudie Lecouch. It's a French. I think it's a French name. It's
Definitely French.
L-E Lecouch.
La Cauge. That was a terrible French accent.
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
King Solomon the Magus. Check that book out, bro. Read that book.
Okay.
It's
I'm gonna
dope.
order that. Okay, so Chucky. I know he's embodied
Yeah,
that
the spirit.
the soul of the serial killer, which is inevitably a Nephilim spirit
That's some
or a
Nephilim shit right
demon.
there.
Because, dude,
So
I think all demons are just fallen the Nephilim spirits that can never go anywhere. So they just kind of take they incarnate in people who allow them, who don't allow Christ. And you could interpret Christ as, the love of God, the Christ consciousness. Like we were saying, there's a lot of people who don't call themselves Christians who probably are a lot more in tune with that Holy Spirit than a lot of Christians would be,
So, as the last living homunculologist and head of homuncology here in
And
the
the
state of
first one,
Florida,
dude.
I want to clarify some things because I want to make it clear that when we consider these things homunculi or not, or a golem or whatever it is, what I'm mostly referring to, so a homunculus is essentially a representation, a simulacra of man. Okay, so it's a miniature representation at its core. It's a miniature representation of man that holds all the occult powers of man, which I know you've read Manly P. Hall and the occult anatomy of man, that whole sort of thing, right?
Oh, dude, Juan.
I love how you have all these books, bro. And you're just like, yeah, dude, I
Bro,
got that one. Boom, boom,
I'm
boom.
about to show you a few more. Hold on. So I reviewed a couple in this one too, and I know people are probably sick of me showing this. This one is fascinating.
Oh
dude.
I read that one too.
I'm sure. Dude, you've read all these. I know you have.
Yeah,
This
a lot of
one,
them, not all of them.
I haven't gotten into this one yet, but it
The Adepts. I don't think I've checked that one out.
this one is probably the one I understand the least, but a treatise on natural occultism and magic. This one's pretty cool. Sacred Magic of the Kabbalah.
Mm-hmm. You got them all, bro.
Bro, I go hard, man. When I get into shit, I get into it, man. The Lost Keys of Freemasonry. This one I'm saving for last, I think, man. It's pretty profound. This one, Thomas said, I think y'all did an episode on Melchizedek and the Mystery of Fire.
Not yet, no.
Not yet? Oh, dude, Juan, if y'all do an occult book club on it, bro, please invite me, man. Like, you'd make my fucking year, dude.
I got you, bro. Yeah, no,
it talks about the Masonic orders founded in the secret schools of the pagan antiquity, many of the symbols of which are preserved to this day in the various degrees of the Blue Lodge and Scottish Rite.
You know who Melchizedek was, right?
Oh, he was a king, right? An ancient king.
Well, he was another one of these, again, born from a virgin type of thing.
The star seed. Because me and you were messaging, I was telling you about the Starseed books, and talks about the Melchizedek being an actual like race of aliens, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Are you sure that was me? I don't remember that.
That was you. You just probably didn't read it, and it's okay, dude. I've dude, and Thomas probably the same thing, except I have his number, so he gets bombarded sometimes with text. He always responds. Sometimes it's a day later, but he always gets back to me.
Yeah. No, I try to get back to everybody, but it's just when you have like 15
Dude, no,
people in your
man.
DMs
You're
asking you
good.
about.
You're a busy guy, bro. Like you and Eddie, dude, are like blowing up right now. Shout out Esoteric Eddie, my fucking boy. We're doing a Credo Mutwa episode soon. If you want
Nice.
to be a part of that, bro, let me know.
I'm not Mexican enough for Eddie.
Come on, dude. I'm like 78% Irish. Like, you know.
You're the problem. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Melchizedek is one of these characters born from a virgin, like all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. The Mithras character.
Yeah, Mithras character. And what I wanted to say was the homunculus technology. So a homunculus is the representation of a man. The homunculus that we all know about is like the voodoo doll, which is, again, it holds the power in a sympathetic, magical way to the person that you're trying to do stuff to, that sort of thing. And alchemical homunculus is the miniature little man created through alchemy.
So
Okay,
would Chucky not be a homunculus then?
No, so what I want to say is that what I'm referring to is like homunc tech. So being able to encapsulate, right, capturing that sympathetic magic into the voodoo doll for you to be able to use it, right? So the tech that you have to use to do that is, take the hair or take whatever, and then you tie it up to the whatever they do. I don't know what they do. I've never done it, but again, you get the point. So when I say the Grinch, he's an egregoric projection of Dr. Seuss's mind. Right, the Smurfs, they were created. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they were created in a lab, or at least one of them was created. The girl was created.
Smurfette.
The Pinocchio, again, an animated. They captured, I think it was a spirit or something and encapsulated it in the wooden body, and he was animated. I'm a real, I want to be a real boy, which kind of sort of is very. It's like AI, or it's like I want to be a real person. When is AI going to start asking those questions? Like, hey, I identify as a human being. Well,
you're not.
You're not. It's like
you're not, bud. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. Don't look in the mirror. Yeah. Last one, Juan. Oompa Loompa.
Homunculus, bro.
Homunculus confirmed.
Especially, have you seen the new one?
Certified homunculus.
Willy Wonka.
I have not. Is that the one with that little frail dude in it? What's his name? Timothy.
Little frail dude.
Yeah, dude. He looks like a total like he got boo food in a movie.
Yeah, what?
Movie was it? He
what
got his fucking he got he was sodomized in a movie.
Like as part of a movie?
No, that was Spider-Man.
What are you talking about, bro?
What's his name?
Timothy Chalamet is the guy that we're talking about.
Yeah, okay. I thought he's the one that got boo food in that movie, but it was Tom. What's his name? Spider-Man.
Is that
the guy that plays Spider-Man? No, not Tobey Maguire. Tom. What the fuck is his name? I can't think of his last name.
Spider-Man.
Juan, help me out, Juan.
Tom Holland?
Yes, Tom Holland. He was in some movie, dude, just getting like
railed, really? Hold on,
obliterated from the back, dude.
Let me turn on my incognito window for this search. Tom Holland. I gotta turn on this. Oh wow, yeah, this is okay. So the Tom Holland's butthole scene.
He got busted in, dude.
In
pretty
cherry.
bad. And that was, I mean, dude, if that's not a humiliation ritual, I don't know.
Whoa, okay.
You getting boo food on camera, bro? Like, you're basically getting sodomized on camera. Like, there's old men in high places jerking off to this somewhere,
What the fuck, bro?
I'm sorry. Did I open? I mean,
I don't care. I kind of feel bad for him, but you're right. He did do in the Crowded Room was the movie. The Crowded Room and Cherry. So he did two? He did
And
two scenes.
and Cherry, he got his cherry fucking pop.
So we have The Crowded Room and then another movie, The
Yeah, bud.
Cherry.
Holland. Tom Holland.
Wow.
Yeah. Tom Holland. And he seems like a cool guy, but it's just like, but no, that Timothy Chalamet guy, yeah, he was in the Wonka movie, right?
Yes. I haven't seen
So
it, but again, they got straight up homunculus. Let me close these windows now. Yeah, one
let me
time my wife walked in on me and I had a window open and I was doing an episode on crop circles and I had the last search I had looked up was hedgehogs mating, and she saw that.
Oh man, was she like, "What are you doing in
She's like,
here?"
"What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "I
You were
promise
like,
you." You
"My
ever heard about
pants are
crop
on."
circles? And she's like, "No, what the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, the hedgehogs."
Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, look at the hedgehog. She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Um, but yeah, dude. I know you have to go soon. I know it's getting late. Um, is there anything that you wanted to kind of plug, or is there anything that you have coming up that you're doing, dude?
No, nothing too crazy. I think we're down to a few hours on the Chosen Juan Kickstarter. I think we're at 53 backers. We crushed the goal. Our original goal was 1,500. We're at 5,800. So we raised almost 6,000. I think we have 40 hours to go. So if people want to support me and my work, chosenjuan.com. That's pretty much
Yeah.
all I got right now. That's gonna be the we're working on the next one. So
Hell yeah,
see
dude.
what happens. Yeah,
I
dude, I
gotta
appreciate
order
it.
a couple more t-shirts, bro. You know, I ordered one from you, and I try to like do because I mean I don't know I don't really wear anything else. Like if I wear something nice, it's like a Fred Perry or like a fishing shirt. You know, like
Yeah.
a P. What is it?
Yeah.
PFG or P.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Um, but yeah, dude. Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Anytime, like I said, as long as I had to push a whole bunch of things back because I had to finish writing something for the Chosen One, the Homunculus edition, Cultus Mundi, that's going to be coming out with that. The people who backed the project are going to get the first copies of that. So I had to really crank down and put that together so I can put it out with the comic. So I literally pushed back all my podcasts that one week, and I try to write as much as I could because doing the show plus trying to write plus full-time job plus everything else, it's like
I feel you, dude. Yeah, no, I work Monday through Friday, brother, and
sucks.
yeah, dude, and yeah, man, it sucks. I wish I had more time to hang out with my kids and do this, and so you know, I actually have a pretty good balance. You know, I do the podcast on Saturdays, maybe on Fridays, or maybe during the weeknight when my kids are asleep. But you know, and then Sundays I spend it with the kids and
Mhm.
my wife, and you know, um, but yeah, man, I have a lot of stuff coming with my buddy Adrian. We're doing this whole series, you know, called Pantheon Project. We just did what I was telling you earlier. We just did the first one on Anu. Um, I just found that crazy how that y'all were like the first podcast. That podcast was the first one I had listened to for that day. And I'm just like this,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought it was a typo. I'm like, Ani, bro? You're like, no,
yeah, no.
Anu.
Well, I had sent you a message about an episode you and Ani did.
The
Yeah.
Cetus ritual one, yeah.
Yeah, and so it just got yeah, bro, too many me sending you too many messages,
No,
bro, so
somebody sent me
that's my
a
bad.
message. They're like, bro, I love the episode you did with Mikey Butts. And I'm like, I read it, I'm like, who the fuck is Mikey Butts? And then the person wrote back to me the next day, like, no, bro, I meant Mikey Balls. Is Mikey Balls is one of my friends in the fishing community, and I did an episode with him like
Okay.
long time ago. He's like, no wonder I couldn't find his YouTube. I kept typing in Mikey Butts, and it's Mikey Balls,
Instead
which
of
either
thinking
both
of
are
balls, he
bizarre.
was thinking of butts.
Both are
funny, man.
bizarre, but still, I'm like, who the fuck is Mikey Butts? And the dude's like, oh, it was balls. My bad, bro.
It's funny, man. But yeah, me and Adrian West, y'all go follow him on Instagram, Adrian West HQ, and he has, I think it's Pantheon.series on Instagram. You can keep up with the book. Pantheon 1, The Golden Veins, because we're going to be referring to this book. Like, dude, it talks about, so his co-authors from Africa, from Botswana. And so he has all these like ancient stories of these.
I gotta check that book out. Mark
Yeah,
told me
dude.
about it.
Yeah, dude. And shout out Mark, man. I think me and him have something planned to happen soon. I gotta talk to him about it. But yeah, y'all go to Amazon.com and buy that book, Pantheon 1, The Golden Veins. But his co-author Benson from Africa, there was 2 PDFs, and I'll send them to you if you want me to. He's not publishing them into books. One's about the life of Christ. Yeah, dude. Like from an esoteric point of view and all this other stuff. It's real interesting. And then the other one is about it's called the Zeta series. It's about these aliens and that mission with the Ebens to that planet for 10 years. I don't know if you ever it was on Gaia years ago. I mean, not only that, but it's like a known story that happened in our military, our space program or whatever. But I could send you the PDFs if you want me to, dude. They're pretty cool. But all the stuff incorporated, man. Like you find out Inky is an egg birth. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What's it called?
What's your friend's book name? The Adrian West. What's his?
Pantheon 1, The Golden Veins. What's it called? Parthogenesis.
Here we go. The Golden Vein. Yeah, I've seen it here.
What's that called? Parthogenesis, or it's the reproduction of Yes. Anyway, that's
asexual reproduction.
Yeah, we'll get into that some other time. It talks about like the other Anunnaki from Sirius star cluster being more like dog beings, bro. Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then you think about Cain being the OG dog man, because in the book of Jasher, we got a bunch to talk about, dude. There's a whole bunch that me and you could get into, man, especially like with the whole Apocrypha, man. Like I'm real big into the Apocrypha.
Yeah, that's dope.
And these ancient texts, bro. So we should get into it. But yeah, I got stuff coming with him and my buddy Oddfellows. Y'all go to oddfellowsbrand.com and get some cool shirts. I actually have one right here. Says, I seriously need to find out what is going on with Antarctica. And yeah, it says Oddfellows at the bottom. He's a great guy. He does Schizo News Network every Saturday night with me and Nate from Reality Czars.
That's dope.
Yeah, dude. We got some stuff coming out. We're about to do something on the Mothers of Darkness. Shout out Austin Picard. Y'all go check out his episode, the Underclass podcast. He just did something on Mark Dutroux. So, yeah, man. Then my wife may have something coming. So I got a lot in the works, brother. I have my little esoteric book review going on. I'm gonna do this one next.
Yeah,
I keep pulling up books to you, man. I'm like, oh wait, there's more. Oh, pineal gland. Like,
there's more with that. But wait, there's more. Yeah, we'll plan.
There's more, dude. I could but we're not gonna do that.
Melchizedek one, we'll do it up.
Start pulling out all my music books and the drum books and.
This is fun, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you came on, brother. Y'all go follow me on Instagram at Greypilled_podcast. Twitter, Greypilled Pod, Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, Greypilled Podcast, capital G, capital P. I'm on Odysee, Greypilled Podcast, and Bitchute at Greypilled. Yeah, man. I'm gonna play something to kind of ride us out of here and my outro. All right.
Awesome. Yeah, don't forget to end the live stream after you're done, bro.
Well, yeah, I know, dude. I know. Hold on. After I'm done with like playing the videos, or after I'm done with us?
Playing the videos
Well,
or
yeah,
whenever.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
know,
making
bro.
sure, bro. I'm watching. I'm watching your back.
Stuff.
dude.
I'm not that retarded, Juan. Fuck, man. Figure out what I should play for Thomas, dude. He sends me so many ads, and I have so much stuff. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night. And Juan, is there anything that you want to plug? Do people probably already following you? You think? I mean,
yeah, tjojp.com, and this will be on my Rumble, so I'll post your links in the description. Just shoot me over an email with them.
thanks, Juan. I appreciate it, brother. All right, guys, y'all stay Greypilled, and we'll see y'all on the other side. Peace.
Bye.
We got this homunculus kick. Come on, I'm one of the chosen one.
That's right, you can finally practice growing your own homunculus at home. Comes with a miniature alchemy lab and detailed instructions. The Homunculus Growing Kit, new from ParanoidAmerican.com.
Disclaimer. These are custom art creations and not toys meant for wimpy little new world order babies. Don't eat the art. Don't sue the artist. For more details, visit ParanoidAmerican.com.
Gather round, all you mystery seekers. We're diving deep into the dark, exploring realms beyond what's known, where the secrets of the shadows leave their march. Come take a ride on the Greypilled Express, where esoteric knowledge is our guest. From conspiracies to cryptids, we unveil the veil, mysticism and the occult, our forbidden tale.